Hi, welcome back. I'm Hunter, your code cleric, and this is part 3 of my capstone cluster bank. I have right here opened up the project. We're going to go ahead and go through all the pages. I have opened up the console so we can see all of the different logs that I have set the client side to make. And right here above me, I have the local server that I am hosting. We're going to use that so that we can see some of the logs that I've set the server to do. I find that doing console.log a lot helps with the troubleshooting, helps you know what is being called and when. So let's go ahead and get started. You can see here I've loaded the create account page, and just for fun, we're going to go ahead and go through the create account through Google. I click that and it opens up some accounts that I have with Google. I'll go ahead and start one over here and create a new account. And you can see several calls are coming from the client side, just showing what is being loaded. It shows up and saying, oh, here's the Google user that it loaded right away. And we can see that we filled out and submitted the form and went ahead and created a new account. There it is. We posted a create account. Over here on the server, you can see the calls that the server was making. The index was checking to see, oh, did we get a call back from the Google authentication? We sure did. And now the DAL is creating the user, and here's the user that it created, creating a salty password. And acknowledging that, did we indeed create it? Yes, we did. We checked back, bounced from the Mongo database. So that is the create account. We can go and log in, and we can do the same thing. We log in with Google, opens up the page. Let's go ahead and click that. And there we are. This very, very similar calls are coming in. It's checking the main server index, is checking to see, all right, Google, is this an appropriate account? It sure is. The data abstraction layer then goes to our database and puts in, all right, is this user the one we want? It sure is. It bounces back and comes to the client, says, yes, that sure is the user. So we have successfully logged in. After we've done that, it of course displays our name. Now we can go and see our balance, and as we click here, we see, oh, I have no balance, which makes sense. As we've loaded up the user from the very beginning, we just created a new one. Balance starts off at 0. So let's go ahead and add some money, shall we? On the deposit page, let's add 1,000. And we hit deposit. Boom, and now our available deposit is 1,000. You can see everything that happens on the server. It is making a update for the balance, and we can see it's checking down here. All right, I click the submit button on the form. Every one of these boxes is a card with a form on it. So button, click form. We hit the submit button. The amount was 1,000, and we're updating our balance, posting it. And we can see that that works still. We go to the balance, and it makes a new call. You can see when I click the balance, the server made a new call to see, is that the balance? Yes, it is. We'll go ahead and withdraw. You know what? I'm going to withdraw -50. Oh, let's see what happens when I withdraw -50. Well, the withdrawal amount is less than 0, so it gives me an error. Nope, not going to do that. Withdrawal amount must be positive. I'm even posting the error that it shows. Okay. If I withdraw a number, yes, we still have an error on that. Okay, let's withdraw a normal amount, 505. Withdraw, and that one worked. You can see everything updating in real time. Our balance is now 495. Those same error messages work here. If I put in some gibberish on the deposit, yes, deposit amount required. And then, of course, we go to the all data, which will show us just everything that we have. It also posts out the array onto the console.log just to make sure that everything is working, and it posts it to the server like this is what the user just requested, so we can tell everything that's going on. And as we scroll all the way down, there it is. That's the user that we just had, 495. That's our balance. It works. Look at that. This project, I just showed you everything that's happening. I used my local host so that you can see the server updating real time, but it is also hosted back here through Heroku. The address for this project I will post underneath this YouTube link, but this project is being hosted at Heroku. When I started making the project, I was using Docker to update and make sure everything would work, but for the one I've actually uploaded to Heroku, I didn't use Docker. It seems to be working just fine, so I have not used it for the one that is submitted right here, the one you're seeing me use. But the challenges, the reason why I'm not using Docker right now is because I was encountering some errors with uploading to Heroku, mostly in terms of using secrets and making sure everything would work with my environment variables. I I had a little bit of trouble making Heroku and GitHub Actions make those mesh properly. So that's why I went back and just said, all right, let's make this a little simpler and get it to work. Remove some features and then push it and see what works. So that's why I ended up not using Docker for this. The main troubleshooting process I use to solve these is, as you can see, I'm making lots of console logs just so I can see everything that the program is doing and see when it's doing it. Up here I can see that we're posting, all right, index.js is what is making this call. We're finding the user, trying to see, okay, is this the user we're looking for? Then my data abstraction layer, that's posting the deposit. Here's the balance, okay. So I like to use that to troubleshoot. When I was troubleshooting, say, my secrets and the environment variables not working, I had to go through one step at a time. All right, which piece needs to be checked? Is Heroku, does it have my variables? All right, does GitHub have my variables? Does my environment file have my variables? Going through step by step, and just you're able to eliminate different pieces that aren't working, or find pieces that are working and say, all right, this isn't the problem, and just stepping through there. If I were to start something fresh today, I talked earlier about how I made the whole app using cards, or every page, every component of the web page uses these cards. I think I might change that a little bit and only hold certain information in the cards. That way I could change the way the whole project looks overall a little bit easier. Something I would like to add would be a little bit more data stored in my Mongo database. Every time the user hits a deposit or makes a withdrawal, it wouldn't be very difficult to create a new object under that user showing the amount that they withdrew, showing whether it was a withdrawal or deposit, and then just slapping a little timestamp there. That way you can keep track of a little bit more information and just have a little more to show. Wouldn't be very difficult to implement that aspect, but something I think I would like to add a little more in the future. There's always more that you can add and create. Another one of the things I'd like to do is use the Google logon and create an account. I think I could add a little bit more salt in the passwords. I have some for the normal user logins, but dealing with the extra Google authentication, I think I could implement the same security services there too. So those are a few things that I think I would do, but overall I'm extremely happy with how the background came out, and the app does look the way I had intended it to look with the cards in the corner. So I'm pretty happy with the way I went about making it this time. Always more fun things to see. I hope you enjoyed going through this project with me. Until next time, see you then.